It's Haze, Yoga Club, sitting down with the bosses right now.
All right, man. Thanks for coming to the show, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So, we about to get right into it, man. You do music, right?
Yes, sir.
You got a lot of mixtapes, EPs you've been dropping. Have you dropped the album yet?
I haven't dropped the album. The Freedom Ain't Free mixtape was the last one I dropped. Snake Eyes was my first official mixtape I dropped years ago.
See a lot of people saying that freedom ain't free. It's like you kind of inspired a culture.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that,
Absolutely.
we're going to take it back to the beginning. Give me your origin. The people want to know who you are. Tell us about you. Where you grow up at, where you from.
Starters, of course. I was born North Philly, raised West. Down the bottom. But at the same token, I gravitated to my pop side, 42nd Street. That's why I always had say styling. So Style Street is where I get a lot of my energy from and a lot of my confidence from on stage. It's a lot of things that we know how to do. And I took that energy by myself and projected it on stage as a performing artist. You might hear me screaming, doing something like, anything like that. All that came from Style Street. So I always wanted to make sure, once I learned how to rap better than I was before when I was younger, being around my dad and him giving me that power to not care about the money, the jewels, and the cars and shit, what was the real reason for me to be able to proclaim myself, you know what I'm saying, and exist, and how I wanted to put my village on for real, because that's really what it's about. So I was blessed to be around a lot of artists that had a powerful movement. You know what I'm saying? Made Gang was one of those. That was actually my first. Rest in peace to my cousin Mook. But that shit.
Rest in peace, Mook.
Taught me how to freestyle. And we used to practice all the time. Mook used to say, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's country music, if you want a fucking radio, if it's rock, freestyle to that shit and just let it all out.
So did Mook kind of inspire you doing music?
Yeah, Mook inspired me not to stop. Once my dad told Mook that I knew how to rap, Mook really became a mentor for me.
Okay. You said you got most of your ways from 42nd Street.
Yes, sir.
All right. Your upbringing. Who raised you? Mom, dad, mom?
My mom raised me the majority of the time. But as a man, my father, of course. You know, I felt myself. Me and my dad have the strongest bond, breakable bond. He always believed I could be a star, and I never liked that feeling. My mom knew I had an ear for music, but my mom is the reason why I know how to write so well. So
did she do music?
No, she's a writer. My mom has 7 books out now. So the thing was, my mom is a devoted Christian woman, and when she got with my father, there was a lot of things about my mother that, you know, when she went to church, it changed her life, but I attached to it. So I understood my mom's thought process in reference to sharpness. So when I look at my dad, I saw sharpness because he knew how to cut hair. So the thing is, I'm not a barber. I kept asking my dad to teach me how to cut. Like, Dad, teach me how to cut hair. But, you know, when you so engulfed into your who you are as a man, you got your own vibe. But I started to see a lot of things and project them my way. So when I say that, you know, I got my style from 42nd Street, I embraced something because my grandmom died. Rest in peace. My grandmother. She did her last dance to DMX. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. That was her last dance. It was me and my little cousin Sanaya. Rest in peace, Uncle Watt.
Rest in peace, Watt.
And I did the Janet Jackson joint and try to jump on a chair and shit, the Pleasure Principles video. And my grandma seen us dancing and shit, battling, and then she just lost it. Just started putting her hands in the air. That was her last dance before she died. And when she died, I found out that she died in my dad's arms. She took her last breath, and my dad was holding her when she took her last breath. So I vowed to myself, you know what I'm saying, if I'm going to be like somebody, I'm going to be like my pop this way because I know what genuine love for your mother is. So I took that and embraced that, and I will be honest too. I was a little embarrassed because my dad didn't know how to read. He was illiterate when I was young. He used to read real slow. So one day I was coming from school, and I had a slip. I went to Belmont Elementary on 40th and Brown, and I was like, Dad, something just said that shit. I was like, Dad, I don't feel like reading this, Dad. But I think it was something I was in trouble or something like that, and I wanted him to read it. And I realized he read slow. So, you know, when you're a kid, you speak your mind, but you speak your mind loudly by accident. You feel what I'm saying? So I was like, Dad, you don't know how to read that? And with no hesitation, no embarrassment or nothing, he was like, no. So my cousin would say some foul ass shit like,
wow,
you need to pick up a book or some shit like that. So my dad ain't respond. And my Aunt Tootie was saying right there, like, I could feel her supporting my dad. Like, you know, he don't know how to read, so she stood next to him to give him that inspiration. But I felt like my
that
papa,
support to make him, you feel me?
right. So I saw that in a big sister. She used to call her Aunt Shooty. You know what I'm saying? So I seen her support. I seen my dad no hesitation read because I'm his fucking son. You get what I'm saying? So when we walked out of my cousin's house, I was like, yo, Dad, I don't like the way that was said. He was like, you know, some people say things they don't mean. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get smart. I'm gonna be smarter than everybody.
That inspired you to get the knowledge
Exactly.
and learn how to read.
Right. So before that too, my mom used to always have me dressed and shit. I remember one time I came to the block. It was Easter. I had this suit on and shit. And Cruz was like, little tights, I get fly too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just letting me know who I was before I knew who I was. You dig what I'm saying? So it was Mook and it was Dashir. For real, that made me who I am as far as my mindset and as far as staying sharp. So ultimately, it's always there. You feel what I'm saying? He's like, Tice, I get fly too. You know what I'm saying? I threw that suit on and shit too. You feel me? So I looked at Cruz as like an uncle. You know what I'm saying? Not really a big cousin. I know I say that, but really I looked at Cruz, Blakey Bleeds, Mook like uncle.